Year-end bonus instead of special raya payment for Sarawak civil servants. No evidence of sabotage in Sabah's 666 tragedy. And WHO confirms first human death from H3N8 bird flu. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shelter Metro, and this is TVS Nightline. No bonus will be paid to civil servants for the upcoming Aidilfitri celebrations. Instead, it will only be paid out at the end of the year, said Premier Sarawak Dr. Patigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunopeng. This practice, he said, is fairer and much more practical.
Pandangan serta saya berbincang dengan rakan-rakan. Saya rasa kita banyak festival. Kita ada raya, kita ada Godong Cina, kita ada gawai, dan saya rasa kita mesti hadir pada semua festival. Sebabnya Kerajaan Sarawak memutuskan waktu festival kita tu pandai-pandai yang kita belajar. Mestilah kita boleh bukannya mungkin belajar. Yang penting ialah sekolah anak.
He was responding to a question on whether or not the state government would give a raya bonus to civil servants. This comes after the federal government announced that the payment of the 2023 Aidilfitri special financial assistance to civil servants and government pensioners would be brought forward from Monday, April 17 to this Friday, April 14.
There was no evidence of sabotage, fire or explosion in the Sabah airplane crash that killed the then Sabah Chief Minister Tun Fuad Stephens along with several members of the state cabinet in 1976, according to the declassified report on the crash. The 21-page report that was made public today concluded that the possible cause of the accident was due to the center of gravity position well outside the AFT limit, which caused the control column to run out of forward range as the nose pitched up when the flaps passed through 25 degrees on the final approach to land. The report also stated that there was no evidence to suggest any failure of the aircraft or its systems prior to the accident, as the aircraft had been maintained in accordance with an approved maintenance schedule, and there was also no evidence that the weather conditions contributed in any way to the incident. Meanwhile, the final report of the investigation into the Sabah airplane crash that killed the then Chief Minister Tun Fuad Stephens has been classified as an open document and can be accessed on the Transport Ministry's website from today. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said the report had been declassified in accordance with Section 2C of the Official Secrets Act 1972. He said the process to declassify the report was completed on April 6 after Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim announced the declassification of the report on the tragedy, also known as 666, on April 5. The World Health Organization (WHO) said on Tuesday that a Chinese woman has become the first person to die from the H3N8 bird flu, a type of bird flu that is rare in humans, but the strain does not appear to spread between people. WHO said the 56-year-old woman from the southern province of Godong was the third person known to have been infected with the H3N8 subtype of avian influenza. All of the cases have been in China, with the first 2 cases reported last year. The Godong Provincial Centre for Disease Control and Prevention reported the third infection late last month, but did not provide details of the woman's death. The patient had multiple underlying conditions and a history of exposure to live poultry. Sporadic infections in people with bird flu are common in China, where avian flu viruses constantly circulate in huge poultry and wild bird populations. Samples collected from a wet market visited by a woman before she became ill were positive for influenza AH3, suggesting this may have been the source of infection. Though rare in people, H3N8 is common in birds, in which it causes little to no sign of disease. It has also infected other mammals. WHO noted the risk of the avian influenza virus spreading at national or international levels was low. However, it emphasized the significance of global surveillance to detect virological, epidemiological, and clinical changes associated with circulating influenza viruses that may harm human or animal health due to the continually evolving nature of influenza viruses. And Sarawak has been recognized as the economic powerhouse of Malaysia. This recognition, according to the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, was due to Sarawak's potential and strength that has become exemplary to many from Peninsular Malaysia.
Abang Johari said there has been an influx of officers from organisations such as the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) and the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia who are interested in seeing the region's economic growth.
Saya nampak silum ikut kita. Hydrogen sudah jadi ikut kita. Carbon trading sudah jadi ikut kita. Kena setidaknya nak sampai ke tahapnya. Jadi apa nama KL banyak datang situ. Nyalah nak berkongsi pengalaman macam EPF. Si pernah EPF nak melabur ke Sarawak. Kali itu the whole team datang. Nak cari peluang untuk melabur.
Abang Johari emphasised the importance of unity among Sarawakians to strengthen the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS and to continue to benefit from increased revenue as the region grows.
Godong is set to experience major development in the next few years with the construction of an economic ecosystem consisting of basic facilities such as roads, townships and the highly anticipated Godong Mini Isthmus. Modelled after its predecessor in Kuching, the Godong Mini Isthmus is set to bring about development in areas such as education, health and commercial opportunities to locals.
Isthmus tu ia sebenarnya sama dengan Isthmus di Kuching. Nak dipolah oleh Tun Taib ya, dekat Convention Center. Nak ya lah nama Isthmus. Jadi kita Kuching ada Isthmus, Godong jangan kalah, mesti ada Isthmus juga. Jadi maknanya kawasan Godong dengan Semunjan akan kita bangun dan seterusnya untuk masa depan kawasan itu akan menjadi satu hub pertanian dan terus ke kawasan Sidak Julahi itu, Samahan. Dan oleh ia, kita terpaksa membangunkan kemudahan jalan raya, bekalan api dan air.
Abang Johari said this in his speech at the compensation cheque presentation ceremony held at Godong Community Hall on Wednesday, April 12. 82 landowners were compensated with 114 cheques totaling about 5.2 million ringgit for the project.
The Sarawak Ministry of Education, Innovation and Talent Development (MIETD) has announced plans to supply more Raspberry Pi devices to primary schools in the region. Its Minister Dr. Roland Sagawi said the ministry aims to accelerate innovation and digital skills among young children in line with its objective of promoting science, technology, engineering and mathematics (STEM) and information and communication technology ICT education to school students.
By 2021, my ministry has provided over 9,000 units of Raspberry Pi sets, including monitors, keyboard, and mouses to primary schools, not the rats, mouse only, all over Sarawak. This is in line with our objective of promoting STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and ICT education to students in Sarawak. The Raspberry Pi is a low-cost, credit card-sized computer that plugs into a computer monitor. It is a capable device that enables students to explore computing and to learn how to program in languages like Scratch and Python.
During a media conference of STEM Trailblazers powered by Pi event at Swinburne University of Technology, Sarawak campus on Wednesday, April 12, Roland further revealed that his ministry has also commenced training sessions for teachers throughout Sarawak since 2022.
Delivering training in higher education institution partners like Swinburne, UTS, Kertin, and even Riam, while also going directly to the rural schools and PPDs to reduce the burden of teachers travelling to cities across Sarawak. In 2022, we completed training to over 1,300 teachers, PPD staff, and Jurutechnic Computer Scholar, fulfilling our promise of training at least 1,265 teachers by 2022. This training will be a continuous training to be offered to teachers in 2023, that's this year, and 2024, and perhaps even beyond.
As the first phase of the Pan-Borneo Highway project reached 94% completion, the highway is now ready to undergo an upgrading process where new intersections will be opened. According to the Pan-Borneo Highway Unit Head of the Sarawak Public Works Department, Awang Muhammad Fadilah Awang Rezwan, the upgrade is slated to be fully completed by the end of this year.
Walau bagaimanapun penyiapan Phase 1 Pan-Borneo ini tidak terhenti di situ. Pihak Kementerian Kerja Raya bersama dengan JKR Sarawak sentiasa akan membuat penambahbaikan. So kita dapati banyak permohonan daripada yang berhormat lokal, penduduk tempatan dari segi permohonan pembukaan persimpangan baru.
Awang said his department will study and evaluate the requirements of the new intersections before the project progresses further. The government, through JKR, will also upgrade the existing two-way road under the Red Line project to ensure the design is up to the standard of the Pan-Borneo Highway. Phase 1 of the 16.117 billion ringgit Pan-Borneo Highway project is 786 kilometers long that stretches from Teluk Melano to Miri, connecting rural areas in between.
What's on the menu for Sungke Arito? Crispy on the outside, yet wonderfully tender on the inside. The Spanish pastry is making its way to Malaysia as the snack of choice and currently one of the hottest selling pastries in Godong Ramadan Bazaar. Here it is, Churros.
Sharing the resemblance to the locally made chakoi, churros is a fried pastry dough stick topped with cinnamon and sugar. It comes with a variety of dipping sauces such as chocolate, caramel, strawberry, and more. The only churros seller in Godong Ramadan Bazaar, Sham Taili, did not expect his churro would become one of the main attractions in the bazaar.
So far, Alhamdulillah, sambutannya memang agak menggalakkan. Bukan agak menggalakkan, memang superb lah. Memang pun sangka dia bagus gila sambutan. Especially dekat Godong tu. First time memang berjual dekat Bazar Ramadan, and then first time berjual di situ lah, di Godong. Kami orang first day Ramadan, kami orang coba mula 6 kilo churros. sold out. So next day kami coba top up lagi 7,5 kilo sold out juga. And then itu dia kena hujung minggu kami coba lagi 12 kilo pun sold out juga.
According to Eshamp, churros has a long shelf life even if left exposed. And due to the tastiness of his churros, it has earned him loyal customers.
Rasanya okey and then harga pun okey. So dah beberapa kali lah repeat. Kami pun makan tapi mostly untuk anak kami lah yang memang suka makan churros tu.
Right, coming up right after the break, Malaysia's preparedness to face natural disasters and 4 killed in firing at Indian military station. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. Malaysia is not categorized as a country under the Circum-Pacific, or commonly known as the Ring of Fire belt. According to Sarawak Meteorological Department Director Khairul Najib Ibrahim, regions under the Ring of Fire are more prone to be struck by earthquake disasters. However, Khairul said Malaysia can still feel the tremors.
Thus, he advised Malaysians, especially those in Sabah, to remain calm as the government, through Met Malaysia, will be monitoring any unusual earthquake activities in Malaysia.
Di Malaysia, kebanyakan kejadian gempa bumi telah direkodkan di Sabah, terutamanya di kawasan garis sesar yang aktif seperti garis sesar Lobu-Lobu dan Mensaban. Kebanyakan kejadian gempa bumi yang direkodkan di Malaysia adalah berskala kecil, kecuali yang pernah berlaku di Lahad Datu pada 1976 yang bermagnitud 5.8 pada skala Richter dan di Ranau pada 2015 dengan kekuatan 6.0.
He said this when contacted by TVS on Malaysia's preparedness in facing natural disasters on Wednesday. He added efforts to mitigate the impact of earthquake tremors in areas with residences are being made, to avoid similar fate of major earthquakes that occurred previously. Earlier, the chief researcher of Seismological Engineering and Earthquake Engineering Research Group, University Technology Malaysia, UTM, Professor Dr. Azlan Adnan, warned Malaysians that the Southeast Asian region is also at risk of experiencing large-scale earthquakes, even larger than the one which happened in Turkey and Syria last February 6. According to him, Peninsular Malaysia is at risk to experience an earthquake of up to 6 magnitude, while Sabah it can reach magnitude 7. He also added that the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria do not affect the occurrence of earthquakes in Malaysia, but the earthquakes that occurred in Indonesia and Japan can affect the activity of the Pacific Ring of Fire and further increase the possibility of earthquakes in Malaysia. Meanwhile, the public can get the latest information on Met Malaysia's official website at www.met.gov.my.
About 49,000 rubber smallholders nationwide will receive a special Idul Fitri assistance of 200 ringgit each, involving an allocation of 9.8 million ringgit. Plantation and Commodities Ministry said that the aid will be channeled to registered smallholders with rubber plantations exceeding 2.5 hectares through the Malaysian Rubber Board.
At the same time, the aid will also be distributed by the Rubber Industry Smallholders Development Authority, or RISDA, to smallholders with rubber plantation of 2.5 hectares or less. The ministry said it had taken action to ensure that the target group of rubber smallholders benefit from the assistance. On March 29th, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that the government has agreed to give 200 ringgit in a special Idul Fitri assistance to 850,000 rubber smallholders, paddy farmers and fishermen, involving a total allocation of 170 million ringgit Malaysia.
On to the next highlight. Petronas is taking a proactive and forward-looking approach in positioning itself in capturing new opportunities arising from the global accelerated energy transition. Hence, such pursuit is expected to transform the economy and to open up new growth areas, especially in low-carbon businesses, to be more inclusive and create opportunities as signals a fundamental shift in its long-term growth strategy that focuses on new non-traditional businesses to complement its existing core of oil and gas.
According to its General Manager in Strategy, Policy, Regulation, Corporate Sustainability, Wan Sayuti Wan Hussein, the Carbon Management Division was commissioned in pursuing and exploring new opportunities available throughout Malaysia. Commenting on a question by the press on Sarawak's vast interest in carbon capture storage, CCS, and Petronas' partnership with other states, Wan Sayuti responded that more projects and partnerships are to be expected in the upstream business by the division. He pointed out Petronas' net zero carbon emission 2050 in short, mid and long-term targets, 2024 short-term greenhouse gas emission target and methane emission reduction targets based on operational control approach, allowing to track performance of all assets under its control and drive immediate climate actions for direct and effective change. He said the 2030 target is to achieve greenhouse gas emission reduction of 25% from 2019 levels for group-wide operations, 70% methane emission reduction for natural gas value chain operations, and 50% methane emissions reduction for Malaysia's natural gas value chain operation. Additionally, Sayuti said that Petronas is also generating new economy and green economy through activities such as CCS, circular economy.
The Ministry of Health MOH has come up with a strategic plan for reducing sugar intake among Malaysians. The planning, which will be in effect until 2025, will involve multi-sectoral actions. However, no further details were revealed.
Health Minister Dr. Zaleha Mustafa said the matter was announced at the 16th National Food and Nutrition Safety Council meeting held at the ministry's headquarters in Putrajaya on Tuesday. Earlier in August last year, the ministry and the World Health Organization reported that Malaysia spends over 9.65 billion ringgit annually to treat 3 non-communicable diseases, namely cardiovascular diseases, which includes heart attacks, blood clots and strokes, diabetes and cancer. Noting that the growing prevalence of non-communicable diseases is straining the country's health system. According to WHO and Malaysian dietary guidelines, the recommended amount of total daily sugar intake for average Malaysian adults should be no more than 10% of our daily energy consumption or should not exceed 10 teaspoons in a day. For added health benefits, WHO even recommends reducing sugar intake to less than 5% of total calories per day, which is equivalent to 6 teaspoons of sugar in a day.
Now on to more world affairs. 4 army personnel were killed in a firing incident at a military station in the Indian border state of Punjab early on Wednesday, April 12, officials said, adding that a search for the shooters was in progress.
An unknown number of shooters were at large at Bathinda military station and had ammunition on them, a defense source told Reuters, declining to be named, citing the sensitivity of the matter. The incident was not a terror attack and took place in a canteen, a senior police official in Punjab, SPS Parmar, told Reuters. The military said in a statement that the area was quickly cordoned off and search operations are in progress, and they added that the incident took place at 4:35 a.m. Police cars could be seen pulling out of the station, which was surrounded by police barriers, later on Tuesday morning. The military station, about 280 kilometers northwest from New Delhi, houses mostly families of soldiers and is a residential army base.
A zoo in Thailand has successfully hatched a red-headed vulture last month, making it the first successful breeding of this species in Thailand in 30 years and only the second instance worldwide. In a major conservation milestone, the Zoological Park Organization ZPO of Thailand had been trying to breed the endangered species, commonly known as the Asian king vulture, since 2005.
We have been attempting this since 2005. We were hoping the adult red-headed vultures caged in Korat would naturally mate without technical help. But we didn't get any eggs or the vultures didn't mate. So when we realized that this might be an issue if we don't save or do something, the species will go completely extinct in Thailand.
According to the Director General of Zoological Park Organization of Thailand, Attapon Sriharun, there are only 6 red-headed vultures in wildlife breeding centers across Thailand. The zoo first received a vulture egg in 2020, but a breeding attempt was unsuccessful, leading to human intervention.
Once we have the first newborn red-headed vulture, we will have the second, third, fourth, and so on. Then when we have an ample population, we will release them back to nature.
The red-headed vulture has gone extinct in the wild since 1992 and is listed as critically endangered on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List in 2021. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shel Shamiato. Thank you for watching.